Yo guys, and as you can tell by the thumbnail and by the title of this video, we are going to be doing the Raw review for the Go Home show for Crown Jewel this Saturday. Um hmm. I gave last week's Raw a 4 out of 5. I know you can already see by the thumbnail that I have given this week's Raw a 5 out of 5, but I do feel that it was better than last week's Raw. But was it a 5 out of 5? I keep going back on it if it was actually a 5 out of 5 Raw or not. Um, but I do feel that a lot of the matches that happened on last night's Raw and a lot of the backstage segments and interviews were really good last night. So I do feel it is worthy of a 5 out of 5. Um, but a low 5 out of 5, not like a middle 5 out of 5 or a high 5 out of 5. I definitely do feel that it was a low 5 out of 5. Um, that's what I think. So before we speak about Raw, let's speak about everything that's happening at this week's Crown Jewel. So we've got it confirmed last night that Roman will go one on one with Bronson Reed and an Australian street fight, which is really annoying because I literally said on my Crown Jewel early prediction video that there would be an Aussie street fight, but it would be Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. So I got that right, the fact that there would be a street fight at the Crown Jewel, but just completely got the wrong two people. Um, but oh well. I'll take it that I got a little bit of it right. um, and had a great build up for that because obviously Roman only returned to Raw last week, but Bronson and Roman have had a rivalry now for what, like 5-6 weeks. So I guess over all of that, what we had with Roman and the Vision, I guess we've had a good build up for this match at Crown Jewel between those two and an Australian street fight. And the segment that they both delivered last night, promo wise and brawl last night, was good. I wouldn't say it was fantastic, but I did give that whole segment a 4 out of 5. We'll speak more on that when I get to it. We had a fantastic storyline with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Definitely the best storyline that we've had for the 5 matches that we're getting at Crown Jewel by a mile. Absolutely amazing. And we had another fantastic video package last night of them being allies in Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. So that's been a 5 out of 5 build up. Roman and Bronson, I would probably give a 3 out of 5 just because we haven't had much, but it's been pretty decent. AJ Styles and John Cena. The fact that AJ Styles has spoken a little bit about John Cena. John Cena's posted some stuff on his Instagram, and we got an amazing video package of their rivalry between those. It's been a fantastic build up for me, 5 out of 5, because it doesn't need it. AJ literally said it himself that they write the story and they're going to leave it all in the ring. Like, they don't need a storyline to make this match as good as it's going to be, hopefully, in Australia at Crown Jewel. So 5 out of 5 for me. Rhea, Io, Curry, and Asuka, I'd say it's been a 4 out of 5. I've really enjoyed Curry's work, Asuka's work, Rhea's work, and Io's work, but it hasn't been a lot of a build up, so I can't give it a 5. So I would give that a 4. And then the last match is obviously Stephanie versus Tiffany. I would give that a 3 as well, out of 5, because we've had a little passionate video package from Stephanie last night. Stephanie and Tiffany have interacted with one another quite a few times. We've had that contract signing, and then they're tagging up this Friday in Australia to go up against Kiana James and Julia. So we're getting a bit more of that on Friday. So it's been a 3 out of 5. So 3 out of the 5 matches, I say, have been a 4-star/5-star build up, based on what I've seen and my opinion. So I feel like this was for not. Let's leave out John Cena and AJ Styles because, like I said, they don't need a still build up, and Stephanie and Tiffany are yet to do something on Friday. But 2 out of the 3 matches that are happening for the at Crown Jewel, 2 of them are 4-star and 5-star. So I feel like we had a good build up last night to go home, a go home show for Crown Jewel. So I feel like it's very worthy of a 5 out of 5. Plus, all the matches were really enjoyable. All the segments were fantastic. Well, decent to fantastic. So, I definitely think last night's Raw was worthy of a 5 out of 5 and was nowhere near as bad as last week's Raw. Well, I say it was bad, but it was like a low 4 out of 5, very close to being a 3. But I do feel that this week's Raw was just way better. But yeah, we'll kick on with what actually happened on Monday Night Raw. We had Roman Reigns to kick off the show, and Heyman and Bronson Reed like immediately interrupted him within like 2 minutes or something like that. Heyman said that Romy? What the fuck? Roman should fear the tribal thief because Bronson is the only one to put him on the stretcher and get him wheeled out, but I'm pretty sure he's been put on a stretcher multiple times in his career because I swear during his feud in 2017, I believe, or 2018, he had a feud with Bronson Reed. I think it was 2017. He had a feud with Bronson Reed, because talk about Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, and he was wheeled out on a stretcher. But I think they mean from the actual ring itself, not backstage, because that moment was a backstage moment. So I guess I don't think he ever has been wheeled out on a stretcher, like from ringside, but not that I can remember. So I guess in a way he is kind of right, but not at the same time because. Does him being wheeled out in a stretcher backstage count as him being wheeled out? Yeah, I would say so. So I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, pretty much, yeah, like I've already said that. I was about to say, pretty much said that Reed is the only person to take out Roman, yeah, which is false. But by putting him on a stretcher, I mean, because obviously loads of people took out Roman. Called Roman a dumbass. Roman wanted to fight now, but Paul Heyman wouldn't allow Bronson Reed to fight him. And then as Paul Heyman announced that it was going to be him versus Roman in a Australian street fight, which is where WWE got Bronson Reed from that stipulation match that he had at one of his shows, because it was really good. Apparently, I don't know. I haven't seen it. And then as Bronson and Heyman were walking away, Roman said, I walked out like a couple of bitches, and then a brawl happened between Bronson and Roman Reigns, which was a decent brawl. We had a couple of Superman punches, we had barricade moments, we had them having to be separated like quite a few times, but it was. The reason why I gave it a 4 is instead of a 5. For one, Roman didn't really say much. Bronson didn't really say much. It was quite a short segment, and it was just kind of a rinse and repeat of what happened at the Birmingham Raw. Like, I felt like I missed my train ticket and I was supposed to be at that show because it literally happened very similar. I mean, Roman spoke a lot more at the Birmingham show, which I'm glad about, but at the same time, Roman was in the ring, Bronson and Paul Heyman were by the entrance ramp, and then Roman said something to get Bronson to brawl with him, and then it just ended the exact same sort of way that it did for the Birmingham show that happened in August. So it was kind of a little bit of a rinse and repeat of what happened at that Birmingham one. But it was still good, just I wouldn't say fantastic. So I would say the whole segment as a whole was like a low 4 out of 5 for me. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Bronson versus Roman. Apparently, according to wrestling sources, but then again, we can't always believe these wrestling sources. But according to a lot of people as well, and just wrestling sources, that this apparently is going to be the main event of Crown Jewel. I feel that Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins should be the main event of Crown Jewel because that's been the best storyline by far, and Seth Rollins is goated. And he's proven it even more that he's goated by his whole new character that he's playing that we'll get onto when we speak about Seth. But I'm going to be very intrigued to know what's happening with Jay and Jimmy if Roman and Bronson do main event. Do we get a heel turn by Jey Uso? Like an actual full-on heel turn by Jey Uso where he attacks Roman Reigns? That's a very big possibility. Like a very, very big possibility. because I'm loving this whole Jay character at the moment and Jimmy character and Roman. Like, I'm very confused to where it's going. Like, is Roman on Jay's side? Is Jay on Roman's side? Is Jimmy on Roman's side? Is Roman on Jimmy's side? Are Jimmy and Jay actually working together secretly and we don't know that? I don't know. And that's what I'm loving about this storyline, because it's not predictable, it's confusing. And when a storyline is confusing, it's got my attention because I can't quite pinpoint what's actually happened in this whole um, feud or storyline that's going on between Roman and the Usos. And I'm absolutely loving it. Like, absolutely loving it. Like, every segment last night that we had with Roman and the Usos was very good. So I'm very intrigued to know what happens at Crown Jewel if Bronson versus Roman is the main event. Like, very intriguing. I wouldn't mind if Roman and Bronson is the main event and nothing comes from it. So, like, no heel turns or whatnot. Because it's in Australia and Bronson Reed is from Australia. So if he main events this Crown Jewel, because it's an Australian street fight, he's Australian and it's in Australia, then he's Australian and it's in Australia. Okay, have I said it's in Australia twice? I wouldn't mind because he's from Australia. It's a nice thing for Bronson Reed to main event an Australian show. So I wouldn't be bothered at all if it's the main event and nothing happens. But I will be intrigued to know if anything does come from this being the main event, if it is the main event. But yeah. And then the first match of the night, which was quite surprising. I actually thought it was going to be Lara versus Roxanne, but it was actually Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupri. And I'm not going to lie to you, as soon as Becky and Maxine was match number 1, I knew from that point onwards that we were having no AJ Lee again. And that's exactly what happened. Kind of getting a little bit annoyed and confused to why she hasn't been on for 3 weeks now. There's no way in hell that she's going to be on the Perth Australian show, because if she's not been at 3 shows that have been in America, there's no way that she's going to be at a show that's in all the way in Australia. So this will be the 4th week in a row that we've had no AJ, and it's a little bit confusing to why. I don't know. Yeah, I'll speak a little bit more about AJ when I've spoke about the match, but Maxine's definitely getting better in the ring, like 100%. Her working at Natalya's wrestling dungeon is definitely helping her to become a better technical wrestler. Because she done so well last night, and the crowd was so behind Maxine Dupri. Like, Becky was being booed out of the building by 90% of the crowd, I want to say. Which I love to see, because it made that match like better than I was expecting it to be. Because people were chanting, "This is awesome." We had Becky sucks, let's go Maxie, Becky sucks, and the other way around as well. Let's go Becky, Maxine sucks. The crowd was just so behind this match, and it just made the match just such an enjoyable match to watch. I'm not saying it was a 4-star, 5-star classic, because definitely was. It was like a low 3 out of 5, but I genuinely was expecting Becky to completely destroy Maxine, and then AJ Lee finally come back, but it just went the completely opposite and different direction than I was expecting. It was mostly Becky Lynch that had control of this match, but we saw like Maxine's finisher, if that's her finisher, where she does the spinning leg kick. She was so close to Becky that her like thigh like proper whacked Becky in the side of her head. Like, that was phenomenal. It's a very good finisher, if that's supposed to be her finisher, which I'm presuming it is. But Becky got cocky because Maxine had the offense on her, and then obviously started chucking her out of the ring towards the barricades, into the steps, into the announce table, was just beating Maxine down pretty much. And obviously Jessica was counting both of them out because they were outside of the ring. Becky came in, I think, 2 times to stop the count, but on the 3rd time, Jessica was obviously counting, and Becky was getting cocky even more. She stood up on the announce table and started chatting shit to the fans. That Jessica counted very fast, like that 8 to 10 was a very fast count. It's normally 8, 9, but she was 8, 9, 10. Like really, really fast count, which I found to be very weird. But I feel like it helps the storyline, I guess. And Maxine won by count out. Becky Lynch was counted out, and lost to Maxine Dupree. And Becky played it so well. Like she done it so well. She made Maxine look like $100. Like she really, really did. Like Becky's just so incredible, and this whole Becky Hogan shit needs to stop, because how is she Becky Hogan? It makes zero sense to me how she's Becky Hogan. None of that makes sense. Nobody is a Hogan in WWE. No one. Absolutely nobody. So I really don't understand that whole gimmick thing that everyone calls her. But she proper put over Maxine last night, and that's exactly what Becky is supposed to be doing, because she's a veteran in WWE. Maxine is a rookie. So Becky done her job fantastically last night, and I did give it, like I've already said, a low 3 out of 5, because I really enjoyed it, and the crowd was so behind that match that it made me enjoy it even more. So yeah, this AJ situation that's going on at the moment, I'm beyond baffled and confused to why she hasn't been on for 3 Raws now. Three Raws, yeah, 3 Raws. Like she should now she hasn't been on for 3 Raws. She should have been on that first Raw, because what should have happened is that she should have come out and celebrated that she won her first match in 10 years, because she literally a few weeks ago won her first match after a 10-year hiatus, and hasn't been on Monday Night Raw to celebrate the fact that she won her match, a first match in over 10 years. Like, that makes zero sense to me. Like, zero sense. Like, when CM Punk came back to WWE, he was on that Raw, the following Raw, and then he was on the following Raw, and the following Raw, and the following Raw. Like, he was continuously on the Raws. But AJ, after a 10-year hiatus, has not been on for 3 Raws now, and definitely won't be on the Australian Raw, because if she's not on the 3 American Raws, how the hell is she going to fly? Why in the hell, sorry, is she going to fly all the way to Australia to be on Raw? Like, so she's going to miss 4 Raws, which is just a bit crazy to me, and a bit confusing if she's booked to not work for that long, or Triple H has booked her to not work that long. Either way, I'm not happy about both, because I feel like she should have been on that Raw after WrestlePalooza, and then Becky, being Becky and being a heel, should have taken out AJ. You know, like took her out backstage because she beat her at WrestlePalooza, and then that makes sense for AJ to not be on shows for a few weeks because she was taken out by Becky. But there's no reasoning for AJ to not be on the shows because she won her match at WrestlePalooza. So why is she not being here for 3 weeks is very confusing and a bit weird and baffling. Because yeah, I feel like the way that I just explained it would have made a hell of a lot more sense than her just disappearing. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I was expecting the match to end really quickly with Maxine last night, and then Maxine to be beaten down by Becky, and then AJ made the save. But when Maxine got the countdown and ran off, I was like, okay, yeah, AJ's not coming back again. So that's the 3rd week in a row that we've had no AJ, which is just, yeah, I don't know. It's getting annoying now. Because I genuinely thought that she was back on like a more of a full-time basis, but I guess not. I guess she's very, very part-time, which, don't get me wrong, I don't mind that she's part-time, because if she's part-time, that means that she'll be able to wrestle more, because she's not putting her body on the line as much as she would be if she was full-time. But you don't have to wrestle every week to be full-time anymore. Like, people don't wrestle that much anymore, even if they're on a full-time contract. So I don't know. It's just bizarre. That we're gonna have to wait probably just under 2 weeks for AJ Lee to be back in WWE, and it's just a bit annoying. But oh well. Yeah, we had a great ball with Roxanne and Raquel, and Bayley and Lyra, because Lyra had a match with Roxanne, but Raquel was able to help Lyra pick up the victory, and Bayley was annoyed So they ended up having a backstage brawl. Backstage. I don't know why I'm going really white than I actually am. What the fuck? Okay, this is weird. Hang on, guys. Let me try and change the angle because what the hell? Okay, that's a bit better. Anyways, as I was saying, Lyra had a match with Roxanne. Raquel helped Roxanne to win. Bayley was annoyed that Raquel helped Roxanne to win by cheating, so Bayley and Lyra went backstage and beat the absolute living shit out of Roxanne and Raquel, and I really enjoyed that. Like, I liked that that happened because it's not very often that the baby faces like beat down on heels. It's always normally the other way around. So I really enjoyed that whole angle. And we're finally getting a tag team match, which, yes, it's still Roxanne and Raquel versus Lyra and Bayley, so we're still getting that feud, but at least it's not a singles match and it's actually a tag team match, and we're going to actually get to see how Bayley is as a tag team with Lyra instead of in a one-on-one match or as a manager for Lyra when she's in a one-on-one match. So hopefully it's something a little bit different that it makes me more excited for this whole Judgment Day feud that they've got going on at the moment. But the only reason I'm still liking the fact that Bayley's feuding with Roxanne and Raquel is, for one, every time that they're in the ring with one another, we get banging matches, so can't complain. And for two, I'm loving Bayley's character, so I'm loving the fact that she's on the show because we're getting to see Bayley's character even more. So yeah, I don't know where they're going to go from here if Bayley and the Judgment Day feud is done, like where they're going with Bayley. I don't know, but I am liking this whole Bayley feud at the moment. So yeah, I don't know why I look really like brighter than usual and a bit of like a weird tinted colour. I don't know what the hell's going on. To be honest with you, the sky outside is very white and it looks like it's snowing. I'll see if I can show you guys. Look, I don't even know if you can see that, but you see how white it looks out there? What the? That's why I look so white than I actually am. Because that's really threw me off how white it is outside. Jesus. Anyways, the next thing we're going to talk about when it comes to last night's Raw is the CM Punk segment. CM Punk was on Raw last night, but AJ Lee wasn't. Hello? What's going on there? Also, like, what is that all about? Like, CM Punk was on Raw, and CM Punk is flying all the way to Australia to be on Raw. But there's no AJ. What in the hell is AJ thinking? Like, come on now. Like, bruh, your husband is 47 soon. 47? Yeah, 47 because he's... No. Yeah, hang on a minute. Yeah, 47 because he's 2 years older than my mum. So yeah, 47. Wait, I just spoiled my mum's age. Sorry, mum, if you watch this. Oops. Anyways. Yeah, he's 47. He's flying soon. Not yet. He's not 47 yet. It's soon. And he's flying all the way to Australia to be a part of Raw. But AJ Lee is 38 and she ain't been on Raw in 3 weeks. Like, what is going on with AJ? I'm a bit confused of what this whole storyline with Becky is and AJ. If AJ's not even on the show for, what, 3 weeks now and possibly 4? Hopefully she's on it next week. And then Becky does decide to fly to Australia because she is just joking that she isn't going to be on next week's Raw. So she ends up actually being on next week's Raw, and hopefully AJ is also at next week's Raw. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, CM Punk. CM Punk is finally back on WWE television. It's well needed. And it's nice to have Seth, Roman, and Punk all on Raw together. Because I love all three of them, and I love it when all three of them are in different storylines in WWE. So I'm beyond happy that all three of them were on Raw last night. But yeah, Punk had a sing-song with the Dallas crowd. I'm not entirely sure what the song was about because I am not American and I don't know any Dallas, Texas songs, so I had no idea what was going on there. But he had a sing-song, which was funny and classic CM Punk. He said he has... I don't know what that says. What the hell is my writing? Said he has been... Oh, hasn't been here. I meant to put said he hasn't been here. That's what I meant to put. I can't even read my own writing because he didn't want to get into Cody's business because obviously he promised Cody that he would stay out of his business But so he has decided to not be on Raw for the last couple of weeks so that he doesn't get himself into Cody's business, because he wanted that business between him and Seth to not be at a cost for Cody's business. So he's decided to not be on Raw for the last couple of weeks. And he also said he's been celebrating with his wife. Why are they not celebrating in the ring together? Like, honestly, this AJ thing is really, really annoying me, because like, I miss AJ being on the show. Like, I feel like she's just disappeared again, and like she's gonna be coming back in like 10 years or something. Like, what? But yeah, why? If you were celebrating with your wife because you beat Seth and Becky at WrestlePalooza, why didn't you celebrate on the Raw after WrestlePalooza together in the ring? Like, what? Like, huh? Anyways, I'm glad you got to celebrate with AJ Lee. Well done for you, CM Punk. Yeah. Said he has Seth's number when it comes to beating Seth in one-on-one situations where there's no interference, which is true. He has beaten Seth twice without any interference. He's not wrong in that one, actually. Oh, no, Seth beat CM Punk with interference, so, because that was Roman Reigns when Roman interfered in that Hell in a Cell, not Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage match that they had. But yeah, Punk should be World Heavyweight Champion right now, but at the same time, I'm glad he's not World Heavyweight Champion right now, because we wouldn't have had AJ Lee back in WWE if CM Punk was champion right now and they went down a different storyline. So at the end of the day, I'm glad that Seth Rollins is World Heavyweight Champion, because we have AJ Lee, even though AJ Lee hasn't been on in 3 weeks. Yeah. Until I'm pretty annoyed that I haven't seen AJ in a few weeks. Yeah, and said that he's better, and everybody knows it. Yeah. CM Punk's better than Seth. He's not. Sorry, he's not. Yes, I love CM Punk. I have a CM Punk tattoo. But do I think Seth Rollins is better in the ring than CM Punk? Yes, the fuck I do. Yes, the fuck I do. Seth Rollins is way better than CM Punk in the ring by a mile. Doesn't mean that CM Punk is not great in the ring, but CM Punk is good in the ring. Seth Rollins is great in the ring. So yes, I do think as a diehard Seth Rollins fan, but diehard CM Punk fan that literally dressed as in all CM Punk gear for my first Raw in 2012, and also went to TNA dressed in CM Punk gear after he'd left WWE. Yes, I am saying Seth Rollins is better than CM Punk, because he is. I'm sorry, but he just is. Yes, anyways, we're moving on. LA interrupted and said that he also has Seth Rollins' number when it comes to pinning Seth Rollins, and he was the last person to beat Seth Rollins. And he said that CM Punk is a trash champion. Obviously, he wasn't watching WWE when CM Punk was champion in 2011 to 2013, clearly, because CM Punk definitely wasn't a trash champion, so I don't know what the hell you were talking about. Anyways, I'm so sick of LA Knight being part of this main event feud. I don't know. There's no hype. I used to like LA Knight like back in 2023, but now I'm just like so bored of LA Knight. Like so bored of him. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He bores me. I don't know what it is. He's very good on the mic. Like, he's definitely very good on the mic. Don't get me wrong, but in ring wise and just being part of the main event scene, I don't know. I just can't get behind it. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens from here on out with the whole LA and CM Punk, Jay and Jimmy and Seth and whoever else wants to get involved at this point scenario that's happening. But yeah, Punk said that he's never been champ, which is true. Like, CM Punk is right on that. LA Knight has never been champ. I don't know what I wrote. Did I write? Oh, that shut him up. I thought I put that slut him up. I was like, what? What did I put that for? Because it genuinely looks like I put, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but it genuinely looks like I put slut. But I did not. I put shut. Oh, God. This Raw's been a mess. Just like the Raw last night was kind of a bit messy. Anyway, it did shut him up, though. I think he completely forgot what he was going to be saying next, because Punk completely threw him off with that one-liner. Yeah, I could just tell that he was just thrown off. And then Jey Uso interrupted and said that he's up next. Said he what is going on with my writing? Jesus, said he sucks as a oh Punk and both Punk and LA said that Jay sucks as a tag team, which I don't know where the hell that came from because when was Jay going after the World Championship got to do with him as a tag team? Like, huh? What do you mean he sucks as a tag team? Like, that guy's like the Usos have been a multi-time tag team and probably one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Definitely in my top 5, 100% in my top 5. The Usos, for sure, in my top 5. So I don't get how he's a bad trash tag team. I don't know why that was said. It doesn't really make any sense because he definitely isn't. I don't know. Yeah. And then Punk called Jay Little Roman after Jay super kicked LA Knight. And then they were about to brawl with one another, Jay and Punk, but Punk got the upper hand and punched his glasses. That must have hurt his hand, but I think he was trying to throw it off that it didn't. And then Jimmy super kicked CM Punk. I was actually not expecting that to happen, but Jimmy super kicked CM Punk to set up in the main event of Raw last night, a match between LA Knight and CM Punk versus the Usos. So yeah. And then we got the match that everyone's saying was really good, but I felt it was really meh, like Io versus Kairi. I didn't enjoy it. I actually feel that it was the worst match of the night, in my opinion. I didn't enjoy it. There was moments that were really good. The whole the ring shot when Kairi power bombed in a way. Yeah, like power bombed in a way. Io onto the apron. That was a nasty move, and that's all I got from that match. I don't really anything else really happening doesn't really stick out. I mean, Io going after Asuka straight away before the match even like properly started. That was cool. It was very 50-50. Like it wasn't just all Io or Kairi. It was very 50-50. But I don't feel that there was much to take from this match at all. Like it was very sloppy at the beginning. Both of them looked confused on what they were supposed to be doing next. So for me, it was the worst match of the night. I did give it a low 3 out of 5 because the spots that we got in the match, some of them were good, like that spot on the apron and Io going straight after Asuka at the beginning of the match and it being very 50-50, but I'm not agreeing with this whole that match was fantastic. It definitely was not. It was decent, a very very low decent for me anyway. But Asuka did help Kairi to pick up the victory over Io by pinning Kairi's hands to the mat so that she so that Io couldn't kick out because it was like the backwards roll up kind of thing. And then Asuka and Kairi after the match beat up Io, but Rhea wasn't able to save Io because Rhea is in Australia setting up ready for Crown Jewel and doing promo and interviews and things like that in Australia for press conferences and media. That's what the word I was looking for, media for Crown Jewel this Saturday. So she is not in America. I don't think she's in America anyway right now. But yeah. Yeah, no, like I said at the beginning of this whole Raw review, a nice build up for Kairi and Asuka versus Io and Rhea. Yeah. And then we had like I said at the beginning of this Raw review as well, we had another fantastic video package of Cody and Seth about them being allies, and I definitely gave it a 5 out of 5 because it was such a brilliant package. Well put together that package was, and the promos that Cody and Seth both delivered in them packages as well was just chef kiss. What the fuck, What the fuck? That's a fucking rapper. What the hell? Oh god. Chef kiss. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Yeah, I give it a 5 out of 5. Anyway, let's move on. Becky and Seth. Oh my god. Becky and Seffi, what the fuck? Just after saying Becky, and I just immediately went to Seffi. What the fuck? Becky and Seth, and Heyman sitting back on the couch, had a fantastic segment backstage. I completely threw myself off for saying Seffi. Oh my god. Becky was annoyed that Jessica robbed her of a match again, because Jessica is very good friends with CM Punk, and she felt that Jessica robbed her of her match against CM Punk and AJ Lee at WrestlePalooza, and she feels that Jessica robbed her of this match with Maxine Dupree and counted really fast on purpose, which probably did actually happen. And said that she's not going to Perth, Australia, because she needs time to rethink everything and reevaluate everything, and was just going on a rant about the ref, pretty much, and about the fact that Maxine Dupree beat her. And Seth the whole time was just looking down at the watch that Cody gifted him after last year's WrestleMania, when Cody finally defeated Roman Reigns and finally became a WWE champion in the WWE. So Seth wasn't really taking any notice of what Becky was saying. So that whole dynamic is very interesting, because is Becky eventually going to notice that Seth actually isn't listening to her and doesn't care about anyone apart from himself, in a way, and the vision, and not Becky. So yeah, that was a very good promo and segment by Becky Lynch there. Already a 5 out of 5 for me, this whole segment. And then Seth wanted to speak to Heyman about the fact that he asked him, what happens if I lose? And then Paul Heyman said, you're not going to lose. We've got all the confidence in the world that you are not losing. And then as Heyman was walking away, Seth grabbed his arm again and pulled him back and went, no, what if I lose? Answer that question. What if I lose to Cody? And then Heyman said that Seth loses the locker room. He will no longer be looked at as the locker room leader. In that he will lose the trust in Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, because Seth is world heavyweight champion, so Seth should be winning all of his matches. And if he wants to be the leader of the WWE, of the whole company, and wants to bring Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker with him, then he needs to prove that winning is what they need to be doing, to be any reasoning to be in the future for WWE when it comes to future Royal Rumble winners and future Hall of Fames and future WrestleManias and everything like that. They need to win their matches, and Seth needs to be the reasoning to this whole vision that he has to win, because if he loses, he makes the vision look even weaker than if Bronson and Bron Breakker were to lose matches. So he needs to set an example that winning is all that matters. Pretty much, so he will lose the trust in Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, and he just throws away everything, pretty much. He throws everything that this whole vision is about, he throws that all away if he loses to Cody Rhodes this Saturday. So this whole segment has made me even more excited for Cody versus Seth. The in-ring segments that we've gotten with both of them, fantastic. The video packages we've gotten with them, fantastic. But this Seth that we got last night, oh my, has made me the most excited for a match in a very, very long time. Like, this probably is one of the matches that I am most looking forward to that has happened this year by a mile, because I am so intrigued to see what happens if Seth Rollins loses. But I don't want Seth Rollins to lose, so I'm just in a really weird predicament. Like, if Seth wins, what then happens with Cody Rhodes, because he's the quarterback and he's just lost, and he's the WWE champion, which is way superior than the World Heavyweight Championship. And then if Seth loses, what the hell happens with Seth? Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman said also that because Seth asked him, what happens if I lose? What happens with us? And then Paul Heyman said that that he loses, if Seth loses, he's going to ask himself why he picked Seth over Roman Reigns. So it's really intriguing, because there's a lot of ways that this can go, because I feel that if Seth Rollins loses, does Paul Heyman go back to Roman Reigns? But then Roman Reigns lost to Cody Rhodes and has become the WWE champion because he beat Roman Reigns. So Paul Heyman no longer feels that Roman Reigns is at the top anymore because he was beaten by Cody Rhodes. If Seth Rollins loses to Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins is no longer the head of the table to reference Roman Reigns' whole gimmick reference situation, because he's been beaten by, again, Cody Rhodes. He didn't decide to work alongside John Cena because John Cena, yes, beat Cody at WrestleMania, but then a few months later, Cody Rhodes beat John Cena all by himself. Again. Not again, sorry, but beat John Cena and beat one of the best in the company. So, just Cody and Paul Heyman align themselves with each other because Cody keeps beating all these big names. If Cody was to beat Cody was to beat Seth at Crown Jewel. Like, it's really intriguing to know where Paul Heyman goes if Seth loses. Like, does Paul Heyman decide to be like, well, I should have chosen Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes has now beaten John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins in a year and a bit of one another. But and then he's going to also think, I don't know who else he should have gone with though, because there's no one else he should have gone with because Cody Rhodes is the top dog again. A reference, like, a Roman Reigns reference again, but because he's beaten all them three people: John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. Should Paul Heyman have stuck with CM Punk? You know, because CM Punk has beaten Seth Rollins in a one-on-one match, so Paul Heyman should have stuck with CM Punk instead of going to Seth? Should he completely throw us off and go with Randy Orton, and we start a new vision with Randy Orton and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed? Like, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Paul Heyman if Seth loses, but also what happens with Cody if Cody loses. Like, this whole match is just really intriguing and I cannot wait. But yeah, that segment last night with Seth, Becky and Heyman was a 5-star. Fucking brilliant. Like, definitely the best segment of the night. Yeah. I've already spoken about how I'm loving the situation with the Usos and Roman, so I won't speak about that now. And then we did also get a 6-man tag last night between the Judgment Day and Penta and AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, even though they were making out that it was going to be some mystery partner, but it ended up just being Penta, who's in WWE. So I don't know how that was a mystery. Anyways, it was a decent 6-man tag. We got a lot of high-flying moments in that match itself. But AJ did say after the match, like, I've already said this, but AJ did say after the match, because he got cut off before he was about to do, when he was about to do a promo by the Judgment Day, and he did say that that the story writes himself when it comes to John Cena and AJ Styles, and they don't need a storyline to have a fantastic match at Crown Jewel and to leave it all in the ring. So I'm very excited for AJ Styles versus not CM Punk. I would be very excited for AJ Styles versus CM Punk, but that's not who AJ Styles is facing at Crown Jewel. It's John Cena. So yeah, I'm very excited for that match and I can't wait. Next week's Raw in Perth, Australia. It starts at 1 p.m. UK, Northern Ireland and Ireland time, just so you lot are aware. We're getting Penta versus Dominic for the Intercontinental Championship. Rusev is definitely getting himself involved in that match, 100%. And then we're actually getting something different, but I've already said this earlier, but we're actually getting Lara and Bayley versus Roxanne and Raquel. So something a little bit different. And that's all for Raw next week. That's all that's been said. So Raw's going to be interesting next week, but I might not be watching it live. I'm not going to say why I might not be watching it live, because I'm not 100% I'm going to be going to this situation. And I don't want to announce it on here because yeah, it's not my place to do that, but I might be, let's just say, I might be meeting a former WWE superstar on Monday. Let's leave it as that. Anyways, so I don't know if I'm going to be watching it live. I might be watching it after. So my review for Monday Night Raw, because I always do a review after a PLE, might be up on Tuesday if I decide to go to this thing. Yeah. Anyways, the main event of Raw last night was LA Knight and Punk versus the Usos. It was a decent main event. I wouldn't say it was good or great, but it was decent. They brawled before the bell even started, which I liked. And mostly it was LA Knight getting absolutely destroyed by the Usos. Didn't really see much of Punk wrestle in this main event. The only time we saw him wrestle was at the beginning, and then when he was able to deliver the GTS to Jey Uso, I think it was. Yeah, Jey Uso. And then LA tagged himself in to pick up the victory to take all the limelight off of CM Punk for delivering the GTS to get the victory in the first place. So yeah, and stole all the glory from Punk actually delivering the GTS, as I already said. But yeah, that was the main event. It was decent, and then it just ended like that with just LA Knight walking out the ring, very happy that he got the victory and CM Punk didn't, and that was that. That was that. Yeah, but no, it was definitely a 5 out of 5 Raw. And all the go home show for matches were very good. Like we had brilliant video packages, and obviously Cody and Seth has definitely been the best. We had brawls. We had one of the matches that we're getting this Saturday. We had a 1-on-1 match between two of the four out of the four, two of. We had a 1-on-1 match between 2 out of the 4 of them in Io and Kairi. So I feel like it was a very good go home show. We'll have to just wait and see how good the go home show is for SmackDown, and what happens with Cody and what happens with Stephanie and Tiffany. And yeah, I'm very intrigued to see if Seth's at that SmackDown. But yeah, no, really, really enjoyable Raw. As you can tell, spoken about a lot. Because this Raw has been this long, so it goes to show it's been a good Raw when it's this long. But anyways, guys, I will be doing my Crown Jewel prediction video tomorrow, and that will be out tomorrow. And then I will be doing a review on SmackDown on the day of SmackDown. I think I'm not too sure yet, because we also have like countdown and press conferences and stuff like that. So I'm not 100% sure I will do the review on the actual day. I might wait until Saturday. And then I also have at some point this week part 3 of Wrestlers That I've Seen Live video coming out. And then on Sunday I will be releasing the Crown Jewel review. And then maybe on Monday there will be a Raw review, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I decide to go to this thing on Monday to meet a former WWE superstar, which will be insane if it happens. Yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up if make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I was about to say if you agree. What the hell? Do you agree with a 5 out of 5, or do you believe this Raw was good but not quite a 5 out of 5, or do you believe it was decent? There were some decent matches and decent moments, but not quite a good or fantastic show. Do you believe it was meh, not really anything intrigued you in this Raw, but there was like 1 or 2 things? Or do you believe that this Raw was a 1 out of 5 and you never want to watch this Raw again and it was absolutely dreadful? Let me know in the comments down below. And are you guys excited for Crown Jewel? Also let me know if you are excited. But yeah guys, anyways, this has been Charlie, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, which again will be my Crown Jewel prediction video. Peace.